Back in 1996, I was featured in an article in Ad Age. And in that article, it talked about urban marketing pioneers. And I hope that one day I would be in the pantheon of urban marketing and advertising pioneers. You were the guy, the man, who stopped them from putting hot sauce on ads, as I like to call them, just throwing black people in white ads and really starting to bring authentic black to the advertising industry. And so I just want to say thank you for everything that you did to the industry and bringing the opportunities to black people to participate, because you had to get it in the mailroom. So thank you for everything that you've done. Charles, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody wants to know what's happening now. I mean, who are we, black people, now in the whole universe of what I like to refer to as Madison Avenue? I mean, the advertising industry. How are we being portrayed today? I see ads on television all the time with black people in them. And I don't know that it necessarily reflects the reality for the majority of black people in this country.
Well, one of the things we're doing right now is we're kind of living under the delusion of inclusion. The whole myth of post-racial world, and that's still wishful thinking on the part of many, including corporate America. And the whole idea that we're going to include black people in all kinds of situations, whether they're relevant or not, just to prove to ourselves that the race issue is over.
Is this the Obama hangover?
Well, I'm not so sure that it's the Obama hangover, but it's certainly related. There's a thread there between the idea we had a black president, and that was the kind of the peak of, this is proof that the issue is over and that black people don't need to worry about this race thing anymore. One of the things you'll also notice in a lot of advertising is the use of raceless people, kind of washed out, kind of, I don't know what that
mixed race people, or
we don't know what that is.
Yeah, I call them tweeners.
Well, yeah,
we don't know.
Yeah, right.
Who?
Yeah, ambiguous, racially ambiguous, and so that becomes a way of dealing with the issue.
There was a Cheerios commercial, I remember.
Oh yeah, well that's different. That was very markedly a mixed race commercial, and it was very purposeful in terms of making a statement. Which that was a little different from a lot of the advertising that we see now, where we just don't know whether is that a black person or white person.
Tom, can we go back? Because I think that for our listening audience who may not be 100% sure, go back and tell us who you are as it relates to the advertising industry, and give us a little background on your history as Tom Burrell. Tell us about you.
Oh boy, that's tough.
No, it's not. You got a big story.
Tough subject for me, but I spent my whole life in Chicago, just about. Went to Parker High School. I was born in 1939. Makes me 79 years old. And went to Betsy Ross Elementary School on 61st and Wabash. Grew up on the south side, 59th and Calumet. Went to Inglewood for 2 years, which is now Robeson, I guess.
Okay.
And then transferred to Parker High School. Okay. And it was while I was at Parker High School that I was trying to kind of find my way. I had no idea. It was fairly aimless. I had no idea what I wanted to do and what I wanted to be. But I did take a class at Parker called Careers. I don't know if they still do that in the kind of the commercial business curriculum. And part of that course involved taking an aptitude test. The aptitude test was designed to kind of help young people like me give us some direction as to what our aptitudes were. So I scored fairly average or low in most of the categories, but there were two areas where I kind of spiked. One area was called persuasive. The other was called artistic. I took that to my teacher. Her name was Corinne Bulin, and I want to always give a shout out to her, Corinne Bulin, wherever you are. And asked her what it meant. And she told me that after about 30 seconds of looking at it, she said, maybe you should think about being an advertising copywriter.
How does a black man get into advertising and copywriting in that time?
Well, let's continue. I'll tell you.
Okay.
So I said, advertising copywriting. What is that? I didn't know what that was, and she told me. I wasn't aware of the whole industry, which is probably the way it is, or it certainly was, for a lot of young black kids. They don't know what an advertising agency is.
Exactly.
Yeah, maybe they know better now.
Because of what you did.
Well, maybe, yeah.
Definitely.
And what we're doing with the film that we're going to be talking about here. So I took that information upstairs to the lunch counter. To the cafeteria. Told my friends, I said, look, I want to be an advertising copywriter. And they said, what's that?
When we come back, we're going to continue the story. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking to Tom Burrell. He is the founder of Burrell Advertising. He created the Black Advertising Revolution. But he's got a documentary, and we're going to talk about that too. That'll be screening. Plus, we'll have a chance for 50 lucky winners to win tickets to see the screening. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. It is Tom Burrell in the studio.
More of The Morning Show with Maze Jackson coming up.